Vale, luego ponemos el colorito.
Vale, bueno.
Un momentito, por favor, que hay un poco de ruido aquí.
Sí.
Empezamos, ¿vale? Gracias.
Cuando queráis.
Bueno, para empezar, ¿qué importancia tiene la masculinidad en esta historia?
How important is masculinity in this story?
Bueno, precisamente es uno de los temas principales de la historia. En mi caso concreto, que soy una de las pocas chicas en la película, pues todo ese mundo, ¿no?, de la masculinidad, a veces incluso del abuso del poder de los hombres, pues juega un papel muy, muy importante en Feedback. En este caso, mi personaje, sin desvelar mucho, de alguna forma intenta luchar contra ese abuso o esa superioridad que pueden, pues, llegar a mostrar ciertas figuras masculinas en su vida.
¿Tenemos cada vez menos empatía y más frialdad a la hora de juzgar a los demás a través de las redes?
Are we less empathetic and are we colder when judging others through the social media, you believe?
Definitely. I was having debates. I often have political debates on social media. I don't really use social media for self-promotion. And there was a guy that I was debating all the time, and there was a lot of antagonism between both of us on social media. And then we went to Cambridge University, and they invited us to debate in the university, and I stood in the same room as the man, and even though I could disagree with him, I liked him. And it was very interesting. On social media, if you disagree with somebody, that's it. You don't like them. When you have personal connection with somebody, you can disagree with them but still like them, because there's other elements of humanity beyond opinion or beyond the aesthetic that are appealing. And social media is very binary. If people agree with you, you like them. If they don't agree with you, you don't like them. In life, there's often many people who I agree with and I don't like. And there's many people I disagree with and I like.
Bueno, ¿cómo de importante es la idea de Jarvis respecto al Brexit? Su voz quizás es una representación de una parte de la sociedad inglesa ahora mismo.
How important are Jarvis' views on Brexit? Do his views on Brexit represent the opinion of a significant part of British society?
Definitely. Yeah. Yes, they do. They do. They do, because I think we are all in Europe at the moment, and not only Europe, the world, the Western world, is under the threat of populism. And populism is simple lies being preferred to complex truths. And Jarvis's opinion about the reason why his show is called The Grim Reality is because reality is grim and it's complex and it's messy. And populism is when somebody would prefer to tell you a simple lie than a complex truth.
¿Cómo se trata el tema de la posverdad en la película?
How is the issue of post-truth addressed in this film?
Bueno, la posverdad es, yo creo, el tema principal del film, sobre todo porque el núcleo de la película y la razón de ser del film es precisamente por una cosa que ha ocurrido en el pasado. Entonces yo creo que la posverdad, que como hemos comentado también juega mucho, ¿no?, en las redes sociales y en la capacidad que tienen, pues, de manipular cosas y de que por una parte salgan verdades, pero que por otra parte también oculten las mentiras de otras personas y se manipule la imagen de otras personas. Entonces la posverdad yo creo que es uno de los temas principales del film.
¿Creéis que es posible que hoy en día la sociedad, por estar de alguna manera descontenta con su situación, se tome la justicia por su mano en situaciones, como habéis dicho, de abuso de poder, por ejemplo?
Do you think that it's possible that nowadays, since society feels so disappointed, that society is tempted to take justice in its own hands in view of these abuses of power, for example?
I understand the sentiment. I don't 100% agree with it. I don't think people. I think the world is changing at an incredible pace of change, and the pace is increasing. We can now send an email and it can instantaneously go to China or America or New Zealand, and data is being transferred within a split second. Because data is being transferred at a split second, the world is changing at an incredible pace of change. People like me and Ivana, we can ride this wave of globalization. She flew in from LA last night, I flew in from London, I work in America, but I live in the UK. We can ride the wave of globalization and benefit from it. But there's many other people, poorer people, who will be flooded by the wave of globalization. But the thing is that globalization and change, it isn't a conspiracy, it isn't a policy, it's an inevitability because of communication, because of the advances in the world. The challenge that we have to meet is how to enable as many people as possible to reap the benefits of globalization. But you can't stop globalization. It's like trying to turn off Google or turn off Apple or turn off communication. You can't. And what populism will do will offer regressive solutions to this. It's kind of similar to Islamic fundamentalism. It's a rejection of the modern world, because the modern world is fast, it's changing, it's always challenging the orthodoxies that we live by. When we were young, somebody 2 streets away was gay, or somebody's uncle was transsexual, or my cousin's sister went out with a black guy. Now, everybody's got a brother or sister's gay. They've got a cousin who's transsexual, or a brother. The world is coming in. The reality is saying to people, the world is not what you thought it was. And you have to grow up. It's true, isn't it?
Amen, yeah.
¿Cuál es tu opinión respecto a esto? Me gustaría también saber.
Es que estoy totalmente de acuerdo con Eddie, con todo lo que ha dicho, sinceramente.
Bueno, ¿cómo creéis que el público va a recibir las escenas más violentas? ¿Creéis que estamos ya como más acostumbrados a ver este tipo de imágenes?
What do you believe the audience's reaction will be to those most violent scenes in the film? Do you think we're used to these images, hardcore images?
Yo creo que es un film que sí que es violento, por un lado, pero por otra parte no es del todo explícito. O sea, yo creo que no es una violencia gratuita, sino que es una violencia que está elegida a cuentagotas en momentos muy concretos. Sí que es verdad que estás clavado al asiento cuando ves la película. De hecho, yo la vi y a mí me impactó mucho, sobre todo porque se juega también, una de las cosas interesantes de Feedback es que se juega mucho con el sonido, incluso muchas veces más que con la propia imagen. Pero sí que es verdad que yo creo que como sociedad ya estamos un poco más acostumbrados a ver violencia, nos hemos desensibilizado un poco, pero desde luego a la gente que le guste la acción, este género, el género del thriller, el que quiera pasar un buen rato y entretenerse, disfrutará mucho de una película tan vistosa y visualmente impactante como esta.
Me gustaría saber tu opinión también.
I think the violence isn't gratuitous, because it's surrounded by a really good story and many emotional layers to the movie, and a very an undeniable logic, and also the actors are doing a good job. So the violence isn't there to compensate for any other inadequacies. The violence is there to complement other good work.
importante también es la concepción del espacio en la película?
How important is the design of space in this film?
Very much so. I think one of the great things about the film is Pedro's ability to make the space epic. Not only the space and the production design, but the sound design as well. The physical restrictions of the space meant that they had to fill it with expertise and creativity, or else the movie would be boring, and the movie's anything but boring because of the expertise that they bring to it.
Pues bueno, enhorabuena, me ha encantado.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
A vosotras.
Gracias.